So the story about this particular recipe starts many, many years ago in upstate New York. I used to teach 30-minute meals on the local news, WRGB, the world's first television station because it was the home of electricity in America. Well, I taught a very simple Penne alla vodka, vodka cream pasta sauce, and I started getting letters from some of our viewers that they made it for their boyfriends and they got engaged after they fed them this delicious meal. So I renamed the recipe, You Won't Be Single for Long, Vodka Cream Pasta. So this is that pasta all these years later. It's delicious and it's kind of everybody's favorite. In the pan, in a good amount of olive oil, 3 fat turns of the pan of a good EVOO, over fairly gentle heat, I'm rendering out the fat from either the end of prosciutto di Parma, or you can use pancetta, which is rolled cured meat similar to bacon, but not smoky. And I use about 1/3 of a pound for the recipes. So once the fat has been rendered, we're then gonna take celery heart, a little bit, a couple of small ribs of celery. And I like to use it right from the heart for a dish like this because you get those tender, pretty leaves. You know, I've seen people actually cut off the leaves of their celery and throw it in the garbage, and I'm like, ah! It's delicious. It is absolutely the best part of the celery. That's why they call it the heart. So we're gonna finely chop a little bit of celery. I've also finely chopped 1 onion, and that's gonna give a sweetness to our sauce. We're getting a natural salt flavor out of our rendered ends of prosciutto di Parma, or our pancetta. And we've got about a 1/4-inch dice going on everybody here. Throw that into the hot tub. There you go, babies. I'm gonna let this sweat. I'm gonna add a little more salt to it, and I'm gonna let this sweat. I'm gonna let all the juices come out. You don't wanna brown the onions or the garlic. You just want them to get nice and super tender. Whenever you are cooking pasta, fresh or dried, there are rules. For every 1 pound of pasta that you are cooking, you need 6 quarts of rolling, vigorously boiling water, and then you need to season the water as if it were seawater. Really heavily season the water itself. That's the only chance you get to flavor the pasta itself, and we're going to use the starchy, salty cooking water to marry the pasta to the sauce, which we'll go over later. Keep a little mug right next to your pasta pot so that you can reserve that water right before you go to drain the pasta. Now we're going to add the vodka. When you cook with spirits in general, you want to start with a good quality spirit, wine, or in this case, vodka, that you would enjoy the flavor of in a glass. Because when you reduce that down, you're going to intensify the flavor as you're cooking off the alcohol. So you want to start with a smooth vodka. It doesn't need to be super pricey. I have Tito's here, made in Austin, Texas. Nice, reasonable price and a very light flavor. And you're going to add about a cup to your pan. Once you add the vodka, you can turn your heat up a bit because you want to reduce that by about half. Then we're going to add our San Marzano tomatoes, 1 can for every pound of pasta, and a little extra of tomato puree or even chicken stock to sort of stretch the sauce. We're going to finish our vodka sauce with cream. So we're going to turn that heat way down low. We don't want this boiling once we add cream. And I'm going to tear a few leaves of basil, wilt that in, and then we're going to marry a little cream into our sauce and just blush that sauce. Remember what I said, you reserve a little splash of that starchy cooking water. You add all of your pasta to all of your sauce, a fat handful of cheese, and a fat drizzle of good fruity olive oil. Then you toss this for a full minute to emulsify that sauce and marry it to the pasta. It gets creamy and cheesy. This is the part that's gonna get you lucky, people. Don't skip this part. This is essential. Okay, then take your bowl. Oh.